Last year we did 18.6 million in sales. That partner who I partnered up with, we ended up becoming 50-50 partners. This partner ended up, he didn't want to deal with this stuff. We were losing so much money. He's just like, he's out. He doesn't want to deal with this anymore.
So he left after that.
We sold about $4 million of these bags.
Whoa.
Probably 95% of the bags came back. So we lost millions of dollars, and it also ruined our reputation. I was basically getting cash advance loans. Someone suggested, why don't I try to sell it on Instagram? And I'm like, that's the dumbest idea ever.
Social media.
I post a couple items on social media. From the first month, we sell 600,000 and we're making money. I mean, the giveaways were more just marketing. My best giveaway I ever did was a Capri giveaway. And then the next month we sell 700,000 and 800, and then we sell 1 million. And since then, everything has been going great. April 9th, Liberation Day, and Trump announces these tariffs. And then overnight, he's like,
gone. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Do It for the Clips. Today's guest is Jonathan Chesner from Amuze, the one and only, the infamous AmuzeInc.com. I don't even know, what's the website name?
Amuze Inc.
Amuze Inc.
It's all Instagram.
Yeah, it's all Instagram, right? I was going to say, it's all Instagram. You guys know it. You guys have seen the giveaways. You know the page. And it's an honor to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. You know, it's an honor to be here.
Fantastic. We were just talking before, and I mean, genuinely, the one thing I love to hear, I'd love to hear the people's entrepreneurial background and just their story. So for those who don't know your story and where you got to where you are today, give us a little bit of background, beginning, middle, end, how that all happened.
Long story. Okay, so I started this business. Real quick, Amuze Inc. It's what it is today is we built up an Instagram account. Okay, so we built up an Instagram accounts where we sell high-end fashion, and we discounted 20 to 30% off. I moved to Italy 6 years ago, and we worked with boutiques in Italy, and we offer that product through our Instagram, and yeah, that's basically our business. So we built a business like that today. I started it maybe 18 years ago. So Saks Fifth Avenue. So I'm originally from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like I said, we moved to Italy 6 years ago. Saks Fifth Avenue, they had their company store in Aberdeen, Maryland, which was about 45 minutes outside of Baltimore. My wife's from New York, so when we would visit them, we would go there just to shop. They basically would have an area in this place where everything was like 90% off. They had all their returns, their damaged items, and it was at 90% off.
Is this a retail store, or this was like?
No, it was basically like Saks, like their logistics center. They had like this massive area in Aberdeen, Maryland.
But anybody can go in.
Anyone can go in. Yeah, and basically like their store returns, or let's say like if a pair of shoes was like a half size off, or something has like a little bit of damage, or a lot of bit of damage. You know what I'm saying? They had basically. So I would go there just to, I liked fashion. I couldn't afford like the high-end fashion, but you could find a piece there. It wasn't like you go there and there's like a million items to choose from. You really have to sift through like a lot of items. So, I went there a couple times, and I noticed like every time I'm there, there's the same like 50 people there, like buying the place up. And I asked one of them, what are you guys doing? And they said they buy the stuff and they sell it on eBay, for a profit.
Wow.
So after going a couple times, I'm like, you know what the heck? Why don't I try it? So I bought. I came with $300. I bought $300 worth of stuff. They were like, some men's shirts, and I remember exactly what those items are. We listed on eBay. I did it all at like 99-cent auctions. Right. And when the auctions ended, everything I listed, sold for $900.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was my
3x return.
It was my first business experience in my life. Yeah, and I was like, this is incredible. Like you can like buy something for cheaper, sell it for more.
Amazing. What year is this, by the way? What time are we talking here?
I'm 39 now, so I must have been 21.
21. Okay, cool.
Like 18 years ago.
Wow. And you were already married?
I was married. I got married pretty young.
Yeah.
I met my wife here in Israel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. She's from New York originally, son?
She's from New York, yeah.
Okay. How did you meet in Israel?
We met, it's a long story, but we met at the Tachana Merkazit.
Are you serious?
The
old Tachana Merkazit. Yeah, the outdoor one.
Are you?
I'm 35, but I've been in Israel all my life, so I know.
Got it. Yeah. So we met there, and it's a whole long story, but yeah.
That's awesome.
And then she ended up getting kicked out of her seminary.
Oh wow.
Because they weren't pro, I guess, relationships.
Okay.
Like the way we met. That's a whole another long story. But anyways, so it happens to be also when I back to the eBay thing, half the items got returned because I didn't know because everything had like a problem with these items in that store. So sometimes you can't even see. So I remember like buying these shirts that like some of the sleeves were tailored like too short and whatever, but it was fine. It was like it opened my my eyes to this whole new world of business, you know.
Very interesting.
And so I guess I'll continue with how
yeah.
it started.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was going to ask you, what were you doing at the time? Were you working when you found this?
So I was in college.
You were in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was just something on the weekends, something fun that you were just like
yeah.
messing around with. You're interested in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
So
okay.
I didn't like what I was doing in college, and then after a certain point, I realized that I can make more money doing this, which I loved, than what I could potentially make in what I was going for. So I just went all in on this.
Which was what? What were you studying?
It's a long story. But
okay.
I was going for like Eastern medicine.
Oh.
And like
not what I expected.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay. So that happened, and then I realized once I was doing this for a little bit, like there's got to be more to this one place, like getting inventory from. So
sure.
I someone told me about New York sample sales. So then I started going to New York to all the different sample sales. It happens to be the first sample sale I went to was a Prada sample sale.
In Manhattan?
In Manhattan, yeah. It was on like 58th Street, like 12th Avenue maybe.
Okay.
But it was a long time ago. I remember buying, I came with $4,000 and I bought like skirts for like $100 a piece.
This wasn't your first, since the one in Saks. This is not the first. This wasn't the next one. It was the next one?
The first sample sale.
First sample sale. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
from
gotcha.
New York. So I went there. This was probably like maybe like a year after going to this Saks place.
Okay, gotcha.
They were selling these skirts for like 95% off. If I would go today, I would have bought different items.
Right.
But yeah, I ended up, I went to New York, I bought like $4,000 worth of stuff, and I listed them all on eBay. We're doing these auctions, and then I remember coming back home and I'm like, I should have bought more. I wish I had more money. And then some of the eBay sales ended, and then I went back the next day and bought like another like $4,000 worth of stuff.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I was really like hustling like this for the first while. But yeah,
did you know going in like what would sell, what would flip, like what would do well, what wouldn't, or you just bought whatever your like instinct told you?
Yeah, I mean the prices were so cheap that you really couldn't go wrong.
Oh, okay.
So like I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
Now today, listen, I hope that I'll look back in 5 years from now, 10 years from now at what I'm doing today that I didn't know what I'm doing,
Right.
That should always be like how it is.
Always learning, always growing.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
So I was doing like this sample sale stuff for a while, and then I had this opportunity to buy a lot of Judith Lieber bags. Judith Lieber was like, they were these crystal bags that were like, I don't know, they would go for like, like let's say $3,000 to like $6,000, even $10,000 for these bags.
Oh wow!
And I had this opportunity. I walked into one of their sample sales in New York City, and I asked if I can buy like a bunch of them. They gave me a better price, and they gave me. But I bought maybe like 10 grand worth of these bags, and then I posted them on eBay, and like I doubled my money off them. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I got her information. I reached out to them. They didn't get back to me, and then like a couple months later, they reached back out to me with like this opportunity where I could buy like 1,000 of these bags at like $200 a piece.
Whoa.
So I didn't have all that money. It was a $250,000 deal. I had about half of it. And I basically reached out to someone to see if they wanted to partner up with me on it. And they were interested in it. And we started buying all their closeouts for the next couple of years.
Directly?
From the Judith Lieber brand, yeah.
Wow.
Today, I don't know what's their deal, if they're like still around.
Is it a hot item?
Sure maybe to a certain like niche.
Not like it used to be, maybe.
I mean, it's honestly not the most practical bag. They're evening bags.
Okay.
So maybe like it's like a red carpet bag.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But at the time, they were very like popular. Like the Kardashians were promoting them a lot.
Well, that helps.
And so I had a couple of like these like gifts from God, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like a couple of these different, again, I could talk about this for a long time, but
that deal went through. You were able to get the money, and you were able to purchase.
Yeah. And I ended up partnering up with that person, and I was his business partner for a while until the whole business kind of fell apart.
Those are my list of questions. I know. I remember. I think that's actually. I mean, I'm sure you spoke about it many times on Instagram, but that was one of the points when I first found you on Instagram a few years ago. That was like one of the first things that I like really caught my attention, because I'm not the fashion guy. I love the entrepreneurial hustle, and I love what you guys are doing. I just don't know fashion like your typical customers do. But it was the story about how you built up this incredible business, fell apart, and then rebuilt it again. And it sounds like, because I am following you very closely now, that you're kind of doing that again with everything that happened with everything you're doing in Dubai, and we'll get into that as well. But yeah, go ahead and tell us, like, I guess, like, if you want to talk about it, about the rise and fall, the first rise and fall.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, I was Eventually I got off of eBay because, I wanted something more. There was I realized like there's only so much I could do with eBay. So I started a website with a couple people. We ended up buying out the people we started it from, but that we started the website with. And we built this website into a decent website. We were selling, we went from the first year from like 0 to 2 million, the next year to 4 million, the next year to 8 million, next year to 12 million, and in sales.
Wow. This is like what, 2015? What time are we talking about?
Yeah, we started in 2013 or 2014.
Okay.
And then basically in 2016, I remember when it happened, it was around Sukkot.
Oh.
Yeah. Like these people reached out to us to sell these handbags. They were Celine handbags. And, we made sure they were authentic. We're like, are they authentic and everything like that? And we were paying like typical wholesale pricing, like paying, let's say, like $1,500 for a bag, selling it for $2,000.
Oh, wow.
And then we started selling these bags, like a lot of them. It turned out there was an issue with these bags. I don't know what's the deal with them, but maybe they're not authentic or something shady with these bags.
Okay.
We sold them on and off for about a year because we realized we were getting some complaints, but then we were getting like assurance that they were authentic. Like from the people we were buying them from. They're like, this is just part of the business, Because even before this happened, this was when I was selling these bags, it was the first time I was buying from a wholesaler. Mm-hmm. Before this, I was getting all the items indirectly from the brands themselves, whether I was getting it from the brands themselves at a sample sale,
right,
whether I was getting it from an outlet, or I was getting it from, or I was getting the inventory from a place like Saks Fifth Avenue or Neiman Marcus, like end of season.
Reputable places for the most part.
Exactly. It was impossible for any item to have any authenticity concerns.
Right.
So this was the first time where I didn't think there would be authenticity concerns when I was selling them.
Sure. You wouldn't have sold it otherwise.
Exactly. Why did I say that? Because before this happened, I still would get authenticity concerns every once in a while. There'd be a customer who'd be like, oh, this item is counterfeit. And they were so sure about it, but it was impossible for it to be counterfeit.
Right.
And I'm getting it literally directly from the brand, or from Saks. And so we were getting these complaints, and they would tell us, basically what I just told you, just part of the business. Some people, they're just they don't know what they're talking about, but they think it's counterfeit before they buy it, Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm not Saks. I'm still like, I'm not an official, like, licensed
reseller.
Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, so basically it turned out these items were
problematic.
Oh, we sold about $4 million of these bags.
Whoa.
Over the course of a year.
Wow.
And there was a time once I realized that there was an issue with these bags. That's when I stopped selling them. We sold them in the end of 2016 to the very beginning of 2018, on and off.
Wow.
And then all the bags came back between 2018, 2019, 2020. Probably 95% of the bags came back, and because people thought they were counterfeit.
Wow.
And the people who sold them to us didn't take them back from us. So we lost all that money. So normally when you get a return, there's money in the products that you can resell.
Right.
So now we're stuck with millions of dollars of these bags that we can't sell them. So we lost millions of dollars, and it also ruined our reputation.
Of course.
And basically I was just like holding on. I was basically just spinning my wheels and going under for the next 3 years. I was basically getting cash advance loans to basically, these high interest loans just to keep it afloat. Because I didn't give up. I didn't like stop it. Like most people probably would have shut it down.
Sure.
Because like there's still like I knew I'm onto something. Even through all this all this stuff. That's what happened. It was
that was the first rise and fall.
That was the fall.
Wow. And I'm assuming you never did business with those wholesalers again. But did they?
Oh yeah,
Did they know?
Yeah.
They knew going into it was problematic.
Yeah. After this whole thing happened, we saw they were getting sued from LVMH.
Oh wow.
Because of this whole thing, and they did a lot of other bad things to us, like double invoicing. They're not good people.
Wow.
But it is what it is, Honestly, I was so like hung up on what they did to me for so many years. But I'm like at this point, I didn't like. It's not that I let it go, but like I moved on, And still today, to this day, I'm sure there are people who don't trust the authenticity of my products because of this happened.
Sure.
Because I kept the name Amuze. I've always been torn whether I should keep the name Amuze or not. Because
I was going to ask you how you got to the name. I don't want to go off topic, but how did Amuze? How did you pick that name?
Amuze was just so when I started this business. Okay, after that Judith Lieber deal, that partner who I partnered up with, we ended up becoming 50-50 partners, and he invested in domain names. So when I started the website, he gave me like 20 different names to choose from, and Amuze just was catchy.
Stood out.
So I chose that one.
Yeah, it is. It is catchy. There's something about it.
Yeah. Oh, but also through this whole thing, this partner ended up, he didn't want to deal with this stuff. And we were
This was the same partner, the one
same
that's
partner.
the
Yeah,
same
we
one
ended up
that
becoming 50-50 partners. Like after this whole handbag situation, like we were losing so much money, and he was he was the investor, so he was the one who was like losing the money,
Sure.
and he's just like he's out. He doesn't want to deal with this anymore.
So he left after that.
He left. Yeah.
Deal.
So I was
Wow.
I was stuck on my own. But
What did you do with all the inventory? What did you actually do with the bags when they came back? Did you just throw them away?
I still have some of them in like a warehouse somewhere. That I'm saving as evidence for one day. But at this point, it's like the statutes of limitations, so I don't even think,
Wow.
But I also made a decision. People ask, why don't I sue these people? Because I had no money to sue these people also at the time.
Oh, wow.
And also it's more like I could spend all my time, trying to sue these people, or I can try to,
Grow and move
get
on.
myself out of this thing, which it took me 3 years to dig myself out of it.
Wow.
Which I eventually did. So again, like it's not like it is what it is. But
Yeah.
no, but actually more recently what's going on with the tariffs, that feels worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I built, thank God, like there were also a lot of blessings that came out of this. My Instagram started because of this whole thing.
Because of the scandal with those guys.
Yeah, because basically my business was basically going to shut down because I was in so much
It was
debt.
that was all on your website. That was all through the website.
That was all the website at the time,
Wow.
and the website wasn't working anymore. I was doing on average $30,000 a day, and now I'm selling $10,000 a day. I couldn't nothing was working anymore. But I did a pop-up in New York City with some leftover inventory that I had that like basically wasn't selling on the website anymore. That's one of the things that kept me going because it actually a lot of people came and bought.
That was the first pop-up you did?
Yeah, it was the end of 2018. And it was in I remember selling like $200,000 and I was like, this is so amazing.
Wow.
And I mean now when we do a pop-up we do a lot more than that, but at the time it was like
Big deal.
It was a big deal. Yeah. And these were the things that kind of kept me going.
Gave you the confidence. It gave you the hope that you could push
But then like I still had a bunch of inventory and I couldn't afford to rent a space in New York City and bring it anymore.
Sure.
Like I did it out of my warehouse and eventually people stopped coming to that. So I'm stuck. I still had a couple $100,000 worth of inventory, that wasn't moving.
Wow.
So someone suggested, why don't I try to sell it on Instagram? And I'm like, that's the dumbest idea ever,
Social media.
And after a couple months of just like nothing's doing anything, I'm like, okay, what the heck? So I post these things. I post a couple items on social media.
You already had an account. You just weren't active.
I had an account. Like every business has an account. I had
Sure.
maybe 15,000 followers. Maybe 20,000 followers. But I wasn't.
You weren't actively selling.
Yeah. No, I wasn't selling at all. Like I don't even know what I was doing on it, to be honest. Like
pictures of your inventory, I'm sure, right?
Yeah,
Just or links to your website or
once
whatever.
in a while I would do
So the Instagram. Someone suggested to post on Instagram.
So I started posting it on Instagram, and I saw there was a lot of I was selling a little bit. I wasn't selling out, but we were getting a ton of DMs and a ton of interest on what I was doing. So then I'm like, well, this is really cool. And then I went all in on the Instagram.
Oh wow!
I'm like, this is amazing, and I quickly grew it to 100,000 followers within 6 months, and
without any giveaways, just the content. Just
I
the
did
material.
do giveaways, but more as engagement. I wasn't gaining anything from the giveaways.
Got it.
If you could look back and see my first giveaway, I basically the giveaway was basically I would post picture of me with the bag, and I'd be like, one of you can buy this bag for $200. It was would I normally would sell that bag for let's say $1,000, and I'd get maybe 3,000-4,000 comments. But at the time for me, I'm like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah, sure.
It's
a lot of engagement.
A lot of engagement. Yeah.
Sure.
And so I would do that maybe once a month,
And you just pick someone random in the comments that can purchase it. They just all they have to do is comment, and then you give it to them for $200.
Exactly. Well, I use an app to choose the.
Got it.
And yeah, so but we were selling this stuff. The issue was if I was set up to do this business at the time, it would have been insane. It would have been the business would have went right away quickly. I would say it could have turned into $100 million company.
Meaning, if you were set up on Instagram from the get-go?
No, basically the issue was that what I was doing on Instagram is I had some inventory. Okay, before the Instagram, also someone took me to Italy in it was 2018. I think it was the summer of 2018. So someone took me to Italy. Someone he saw what I was doing. He wanted to maybe partner up with me, so he took me to Italy. I've never been to Italy before, and he kind of showed me.
It was a shopping trip. It wasn't.
Well, it was more like that. I could do business in Italy.
Right. Right.
So it opened my eyes to Italy.
Okay.
And so I was going back and forth to Italy at the time, and then I had kind of like a business partner that I met in Italy when I was there, and we kind of partnered up. And again, a whole long story as well. But the issue is that so we were exporting to the U.S. from Italy, but we were doing a terrible job. The business was like totally like it was logistically it was a nightmare. Like items would take a month to get in. We'd have to cancel like 25% of the items.
Wow.
And also I had no money to finance it. So when you're doing business and you're in a ton of debt, and you don't make the best decisions.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't I was selling, and we were canceling orders, and it was a whole mess. But the Instagram, it was really blowing up right away. Like I remember like I'd go to Italy and I would sell like $100,000 through my Instagram. But then I'd have to cancel,
because
30% of the items.
Wow.
Wasn't getting and the people were also like not getting their items. Like it would take a month for them to get their items. But the people in Italy would tell me that it's gonna get to them in less than a week. So it was a whole
another live and learn moment.
Exactly. So that kind of, my customer service was terrible, and it kind of killed the Instagram at the time. COVID happens. I kind of go a little bit insane. I'm like, I want to move out of America, and I ended up moving to Italy. Before that, like I had this partner who I thought was my partner, and we had this person who was going to invest 2.5 million euros into us starting this business, and we were going to live happily ever after.
Was the idea for if you were in Italy, you would be able to control the inventory so that it would actually get to America on time, or or that's just the source of everything? That's just where everything is coming.
Well, basically, from? we were still trying to figure out how to do it smoothly. So we would eventually figure out how to do it smoothly.
Got it.
And then everything would be fine.
Got it.
And that's not what ended up happening. We moved to Italy. It turned out this partner wasn't really my partner. He was kind of using me. A whole long story. God. Like once I figured everything out, everything was fine. It took me a long time to get there. So there was this.
So the partner, the guy, that we.
So I ended up signing this contract. So we signed this contract, and he was gonna. And at the time also, I was like I was in heavy need of like at this time about like 300,000 euro. Like I have to like refund customers. Like just the debt is piling up. Like I'm just like everything is just a mess in this business. Again, because I was taking out these cash advance loans, but these people told me they don't want me to take out any more cash advance loans. Long story short, basically, I need $300,000 to basically, that's like I need this money right away or my business is going to fall apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just going to
make it or break it.
Yeah. Anyways, they tell me they're going to give me the money. I sign the contract and they're going to give me an advance and then it'll come out of my profits later. Okay, great. I signed the contract. They're going to put 2.5 million and then they're just not giving me the money. So I'm kind of confused. Like, day one, I'm like, okay, where's the money? So I can refund them and then we can start. And they're not giving me the money. And then it's like a week later and I tell them, I'm like, either you give us the money that you promised that we did the contract, or I'm not going to partner up with you. I'm just going to go on my own. And they're like, okay, no problem. We'll give it to you tomorrow. A couple of days later, they don't give it to us. And then we just go off on our own. So now I'm by myself in Italy, huge mess. Eventually how did I get the money? My father, he gave me a loan for $500,000 because the 300 ended up becoming 500,000 of all that. Yeah. But once I'm there, once I pay this 500,000, I'm debt free. Like, okay, yeah.
So there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Kind of debt free.
Okay.
I'm debt free as in like for
that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I'm debt free. I'm at zero. Good. My father gives me the loan. That's a whole nother story in itself. And now I'm at zero. But during these 3 months that I'm in Italy, I figured out how to do the business logistically. And my business, I don't buy the goods up front.
Right.
So basically, I work with boutiques. When something sells, we buy it from the boutique and then we ship it to the clients. So I don't need any investments to do this business. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
It's like drop shipping in a sense. It's like you're the middleman just connecting the dots.
Exactly. More complicated than drop shipping because you're exporting. Right. So there's a lot of like red tape involved, but the same concept as drop shipping.
Interesting. What happens if someone were to make a purchase and then when you go to purchase from the boutique, it's no longer available? Is that ever an issue?
Listen, no, it happens. It's part of it's a part of it. Like we're connected with, like half the boutiques we work with, we're connected with their APIs. Mm-hmm. We're basically going to be connected with all of them soon because of what I'm doing now with this new project. But yeah, I mean, it probably happens with 5% of the things we sell. I mean, it is what it is. We refund them.
It's a part of it.
We try to avoid as much as possible. Also for us, we lose money off it because we lose credit card fees.
Right, for sure.
So I probably lose $100,000 a year. just through credit card fees from canceling orders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it is what it is.
So, and that's how the business is structured today. That's like when you finally figured it out after all the mess and everything. That's how this is where you
That's
left
how it stays. So yeah. So basically,
until the tariffs, at least.
Again, over the past 3 years, it's been like a business hell. Like, I couldn't sleep at night. There's just the pressure, this or that. Like, I'm in debt millions of dollars.
Right.
Okay, we got it down to what's it called? And also, people think of me like I'm really like a very like honest person and stuff. People look at me like I'm some shady guy who was selling counterfeit bags, which wasn't the case at all. We got to zero, and we figured out how to do the business logistically, which again was also like a whole story in itself. It's a huge nightmare, but we finally got it. And then I started selling this stuff on Instagram. And at the time, I'm also only working with one boutique in Italy. Now I work with maybe like 12.
One boutique that got all the brands. They would source everything for you.
Well,
or whatever they would selling.
Well, each boutique has their own inventory.
Right.
Like now, I would sell a lot less if I'm only working with one boutique.
Right.
Like I work with many boutiques now, but I'm working with one boutique, and I start offering this stuff on Instagram. And we can finally do it smoothly. So if someone buys it, they get their item within a week. And from the first month we do that, we sell 600,000, and we're making money. We're making like let's say we're making like $100,000 off of this. Before this happened, like $100,000 would be like, I don't know, 6 months of my work. Wow. or more. And then the next month we sell 700,000 and 800, and then we sell 1 million, and then thank God, since then everything has been going great. Since since 2020, the end of 2020, it happened December 2020, and year over year, the first year we did, let's say 12 million, then we did 14 million, and we've been selling. Last year we did 18.6 million in sales, and it's a very healthy, great business. We have good customer service. Like it's a priority for us. We want to, and everything's going fantastic. I still I'm always trying to make it better, and I do feel like it's getting a little stagnant, and I want to try new things.
Right.
But the problem is I'm making every day I'm profiting $5,000 to $10,000 in my pocket, but it requires all of my time, and I'm like, so I end up just keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And then April 9th happens, and what did Trump call it? Liberation Day.
Yep.
And it was like a happily ever after story until April 9th, Liberation Day, and Trump announces these tariffs. And so previously, before April 9th, the tariffs, we would pay 10% on items over $800.
Okay.
And plus also the euro to dollar was about 1.07.
Okay.
He announced these tariffs, the dollar weakens 10% overnight.
Right.
And we're paying an additional 15% in tariffs, which is, we work off 30% margins. And we also have, some business expenses, obviously.
For sure.
So it really.
So now the dollar is weak, and you have the tariffs.
So we're paying an additional,
a double hit.
Exactly. We're paying an additional like 25%. But these are items over 800. So essentially, we're not making any money off of items over $800 anymore.
Wow.
But that's about 30% of our business. So we're still fine. I'm not happy about it, but we're still fine. You know what I'm saying?
Still fine. All right. Okay. Wow. So that's a journey. All right. So yeah.
I wasn't sure. Like, again, I learned how to spend money also. It's not,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, part of living in Italy is like, we live in an apartment now. Every opportunity we get, we travel.
Yeah.
And so, okay, everything's still fine. I'm making less money, but even it could still pay for my lifestyle and more.
Right.
So I'm putting less money away, kind of thing, or whatever. Maybe I'll start spending a little less. Fine, whatever. I remember I'm in Forte de Marmi. It's I don't know if you know Forte de Marmi. It's a beach town in Italy.
Okay.
And I get a text from my wife saying we're effed. So there's this rule, de minimis. Like, our business is effed. That's what she says. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she sends me like an article. So basically, there's this 90-year-old law in America called de minimis. So it basically, items under a certain value, there's no duties or tariffs because it's not worth it for the government to do, just to process it. Yeah.
Right.
So over time, when it first started, it was probably like, 50 cents. This was in 1940.
Right.
Now it's 800. So we haven't been paying duties and tariffs on items under 800. So he's getting rid of this rule, 90-year-old rule. So now that 70% of my business, which is still good, is now going from 0% to 25%. So that really is the business is done. There's nothing you could do about it. Because again, like if I mark everything up a certain amount, because I need to mark it up that much in order for the business to work.
Right.
Maybe, you know, I can drop it 5 points. But if I do it more than 5 points, like it's, you know, with expenses and returns and everything, it's not a sustainable business. Right. Yeah. So basically, that was that. So like
probably not the biggest Trump fan at the end of the day, but
yeah. So I honestly, so what I was saying before, what Trump did to me is it feels worse than what those people did to me, to be honest.
Wow.
Because like there's really like there's no need for this, because I worked really hard to build this business and everything that I went through, this and that, and then overnight it's he's like, you know,
gone.
It's that, yeah.
That's unbelievable. So what are you doing now with Dubai and everything that you're trying to counteract this?
So I said before, like I'd love to do a podcast because I have a lot of like opinions on Trump and
yeah.
It's weird for for someone like me. Like I'm not allowed to not like Trump. You know what I'm saying? We're not allowed to not like Trump. Yeah. Like I say the story and I get a bunch of like, you know, Jewish people saying, oh, but he's good for Israel. He's good for Israel. Right. Okay, he's good for Israel, but it still
hurts. Like, it still stings.
100%. Dubai has low tariffs. So, you know, so I've been going to Dubai now. I got my visa there. I set up everything I need to do business in Dubai. And that's also was a whole long story. But yeah. And yeah, so now I have to build a customer base. What I plan on doing in Dubai, I'm not going to do the Instagram. I'm going to do a website. I'm going to offer, you know, tons of different products. And yeah, so that's basically what I need to do.
But it's to Dubai residents? That's it? Yeah, it's to people that are...
To Dubai, yeah. And then once you sell to Dubai, so okay, Italy to Dubai, Europe to Dubai, there's low tariffs. It's like 5%. Maybe it's between 5 to 10%, but also they like you can get some of that money back if you invested in Dubai also. Right. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do there. But once you sell to Dubai, you can sell to all the regions it's called the GCC, I think. So you can sell to Saudi Arabia, you can sell to Qatar.
Oh wow.
So to all the
from Dubai, meaning your Dubai would be like your
exactly.
So you can sell from there. Wow.
Yeah, so what you would do is I would sell from Italy to Dubai and then from Dubai to the different countries in the GCC. You know, this is going to take time. I have to build a customer base, I have to do marketing. So that's that. Let me say one other thing also.
Yeah.
Basically, okay, so the tariffs went from 0 to 25%. So, because also he's doing all these tariffs, Trump, and he's like, no one knows what the heck is going on. Mm-hmm. So at the time, there were 10% duties, 15% tariffs. So about 3 weeks ago, DHL, you know, they told us that they're getting rid of the 10% duty and they're only doing the 15% tariff now. So now it's up. So for items over $800 now, it's only an extra 5%. I can still do some business now to the US. For the under 800, it's 0 to 15%, and there's really not a lot of margin.
Not worth it.
Yeah, I'm still selling a little bit now just to, you know, pay my business expenses. But what I plan on doing is for the US is I do have a way. I don't want to say this here, but I do have a way. I'm working on, before I do Dubai, I'm working on a website for the US where I'm going to be able to sell everything at the prices that I was selling before the tariffs, but everyone will see.
Okay.
It's going to be soon.
Exciting. All right. You guys heard it here first. That's exciting stuff. But going way back, I was just curious what this is because I'm going to have like these bullet points from the research that was done. It said that when you started in Baltimore, your very first job, like very, very first job, was $6 an hour job at a bagel shop. Mm-hmm. What was that like? I don't want to go like, I'm like rewinding, but like from there to studying Middle Eastern medicine and then to the flipping, like where did the fashion come in and like what did you learn? I guess that was like your only job. Was that your only job before you started doing this?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So that's pretty wild.
I had a 3-week stint. I had a 3-week stint working for my friend. It was a friend of mine also now, but my friend's older brother's furniture store.
In Baltimore?
In Baltimore. And that was like really deep in the hood.
Okay.
I liked it. It was fun. That I think I was getting paid $6.25.
Okay.
So that was good. Yeah.
You were a kid. You're young.
I was 18.
Okay.
Honestly, growing up in Baltimore, I didn't really have any aspirations, to be honest. Like, which was fine. Like, I'm like,
you weren't growing up. You weren't into the fashion scene. It wasn't something that you were crazy about. It was later on.
I didn't even know what these brands were growing up. Uh-huh. Like, I liked to go to the mall and like I liked, you know, I liked shopping. Maybe expressing myself through clothing. Like, I remember, like, you know, I would go to like Structure. It was called Structure. I think it turned into Express.
Express.
You know, I would buy like, you know, like orange pants and like Hawaiian shirts and stuff like that. In like the Orthodox Jewish world was a little bit out there,
right,
you know.
Right.
I always liked fashion, but yeah.
So it was really the first experience at Saks. That was really what started this whole thing. Or was there something between?
So when I was in New York, I got a job. I was shadowing a handicapped child, and I was getting paid $20 an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. So that was like overnight. I got this job. I saw there was a thing luach.com.
Oh yeah.
I got my apartment there, and then I got this job. I was making $20 an hour. And I was spending like so much of that money on clothing. Yeah, because it was my first time like having money.
You're also in New York now. Now it's like
I was in New York. I would go to like Urban Outfitters, and I would I would buy so much in clothing. And you kind of learn what you like and you don't like. You buy these things. You're like, I actually don't like these pants. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. I was just curious about that. I wanted to rewind the clock for a second. Okay, so yeah, then he has literally everything.
I remember when I was in Israel, I was in Or Sameach for a year, and I had an apartment with some guys who were in the Mir yeshiva, and one of the guys in the apartment had a Ferragamo belt and Ferragamo shoes. I didn't know what that was, and they were saying like the shoes are $500 and the belt is like I don't know $300, and I thought like this guy's insane.
Right.
Like how could he spend that much money? I grew up like going to Ross and shopping like the clearance. Like no joke, I'm serious. I guess over time, it changed a little bit.
But there's just something to say about it. It's like, because even still today, like there is a yeshivish like world. There is like a sect in the yeshivish world that they have like this design. They have like all the designer stuff. There's a whole other market of knockoff stuff. I could show you where it is right here in Yerushalayim. They have like the knockoff Ferragamo, the knockoff like Gucci and all this stuff. But like it's just funny. Like I wonder if like every religion or every race has like their sect of like really dedicated people who like will get the top of the line stuff. It's just it's funny. It's an interesting thing. You gave a Maserati?
I did. Yeah.
I did not know about that.
It was the most expensive giveaway I ever did.
Okay, we got to hear about this. Go for it. Tell us.
That was a crazy giveaway. Yeah. I was doing a pop-up in New York City, and I wanted to promote the pop-up.
Right.
And I wanted to do something crazy because like the giveaway I did before that, like I remember I went from like doing like maybe like a $20,000 giveaway to like a $50,000 giveaway, and it exploded. It was the best giveaway we ever did at that time. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to up it. So I'm like, I wanted to really up it. So I'm like, I wanted it to go insane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, let's give away a car. So I was kind of thinking, whatever. I ended up choosing the Maserati, and I also gave away with the Maserati. It cost me $110,000. I gave away like $25,000 worth of bags.
The same winner.
Same winners. They won everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I bought the car over the phone because I was in Italy. It was complicated to buy it because
you bought it in the U.S.
I bought it over the phone in Italy. I wired them the money for the car, and because it was complicated because the car needs title, tags, title and stuff. So we couldn't do that because we didn't know who the winner was. We didn't know who was going to be the owner of the car. If I would have done it, I would have had to pay an extra like $10,000 to do it in my name and then to transfer it into the. Yeah, we figured out how to do it that we could do it once the winner wins, they get the tag, and So
it really did happen.
You could see it.
Wow.
You can go back and see it. It was I think it was 2022, maybe November 2022.
Did people think it was like a hoax? Like, did people like not believe that was
I feel like all my giveaways, I have people who don't trust it, but every one of my giveaway has been 100% real.
Wow.
And it is, it's just part of it. There's nothing you could do about it, like that people are going to doubt it. But you can reach out to that winner. Yeah.
And they actually took the car, or was there an offer for
they took the car. Once the person wins, like I'm like it's that. It's yeah.
So they had to take the car.
No, they gladly took
it. Right.
I don't know what they did with the car. I don't know if they sold it or whatever. But yeah, no, she was super excited. She was super happy that she won. Yeah. But I'll tell you though, this giveaway, it did not go as planned. The giveaway I did before that cost me $50,000. I had like twice the results as this other one that cost me like $135,000. So
meaning the sales from the giveaway, or
more like not the sales, like the amount of new followers that I got, the engagement.
So it was more successful on the $50,000 one.
Yeah.
Really?
So I never did after. I didn't do that again after the. Yeah, I would have continued doing it if like I would have went even bigger if I knew I would get bigger results. But it's kind of it's a lot of money to.
So why do you think that is? Why do you think that the other one is more successful?
You know what? I still don't know to this day. My best giveaway I ever did was a Capri giveaway. And when I was posting that giveaway, I remember feeling like really like, this is going to be embarrassing. No one's going to like this giveaway. It's going to be, because I never did anything like it. I didn't do a trip, and I'm putting myself out there, and whatever. It's embarrassing when things don't do well.
Right.
So for me, it's embarrassing.
Right.
Maybe like probably other people don't realize it, and then it just went insane. There's really no rhyme or reason for how things go. You can try to like figure out why this one did well and try to use that for the next giveaway. I think a lot of it is timing. I think just
luck.
Yeah, it's the same thing like all, like everything, like on Instagram or on social media. Like people could do like 10 posts and for some reason one of them just goes crazy,
Yeah, there's a little element of Russian roulette there. It's just like there's just some things click and hit and some things don't.
Yeah.
It's very true. What is the craziest, I guess, takeaway from the giveaway? What was something that you learned, or like what was the craziest experience, plus or minus, from these giveaways?
I mean, the giveaways were more just marketing. I built
Get the name out there.
I built this Instagram account where we have 400,000 and change followers, and all through the giveaways, we built a business where all our marketing is through Instagram, and like I said before, we did like 18.6 million last year, and in sales, and we're profitable. So it's just marketing and continuing.
Get the name out there.
Yeah. But also, like recently, like the last giveaway we did, which was on track to being, I think, better than the Capri giveaway, it got taken down from Instagram.
Which one?
And we did a holiday giveaway. It was in December, toward mid-December.
Right. Usually
we gave away, I don't know, like it was like $50,000 and maybe 5 bags, and there were going to be 5 different winners. And after 2-3 days, they shut it down, and it's just the algorithm. It's just like
Was there a reason? Did they give you a reason why it was taken down?
I mean, the reason that they say it shows how messed up it is. It says because of like drug paraphernalia or something. Like it's not a reason that is
actually related.
Yeah, they ended up like 2 months later. They're like, oh, we made a mistake, and they said they put it back up, but it was we already chose the winner, so it was what it was.
Over.
Yeah, we ended up like shifting like part of that giveaway to TikTok and to YouTube, and but since then I did maybe 3 giveaways. 2 of them were taken down, and 1 of them wasn't. Like the Israel one, I did an Israel trip one. That got taken down.
Also got taken down?
Yeah. Not because of Israel, just because for the same reasons why they all. I think they're considering it spam now. So for me, if I'm investing this kind of money and it's going to get taken down, it's like kind of I'm in a little weird situation.
Yeah, catch-22 there. So what do you do? So that is interesting. What do you do for future giveaways? How do you protect yourself to make sure?
So I'm gonna do one soon. Like I'm not gonna go crazy. Like I'm gonna start. Maybe I'll do like a Chanel bag or something like that and see how it does. If it gets the problem is if it gets taken down, that's not the issue. I mean, it's part of the issue.
Right.
The other issue is then they put restrictions on my account.
Right.
They'll shadow ban us.
Right. I wanted to ask you about that as well.
Yeah. So if I get shadow banned, it's definitely not worth the risk.
For sure.
We just got unrestricted. So like because the last one, the Israel one. Because not shadow ban, but we couldn't get monetization, and we had there's a couple like restrictions that they gave us, but now like those restrictions from Israel 3 months later they went away now. So maybe I'll try one again soon.
Has your account ever been completely blocked that you couldn't access it?
No, thank God.
Not at all.
Leah and her.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Why Instagram? Like why? I know you said like way back when someone had suggested and you thought it was crazy, but was that why you started with Instagram and you just stuck with it? Or was it like a conscious decision because you're not really active on the other platforms if I'm right?
Yeah. No, I guess when I started, there wasn't the other platforms.
Right.
Well, there was Facebook, but do people still use Facebook? I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually pretty active, but yeah.
Oh, really? I don't know.
It is.
I got off of Facebook a couple of years ago. I'm like, it's just, I don't know. You're not even seeing your friends anymore. It was just news and stuff like that. That's true. But I started on Instagram, and like it was working. Also, because we're selling through our Instagram stories, so TikTok doesn't have Instagram stories.
Gotcha.
So. Yeah, so that's why we do the Instagram. It's for sure will be smart to use TikTok for sure. But yeah, I mean, I just haven't.
Gary Vee talks about it a lot. I think he's like, it was one of his predictions that he said like many years ago, and then it seems to be coming true. I think it's more popular in the Asian markets, but they do these like live stream e-commerce stores where they're just constantly on live stream. They even have like strip malls like these, or like these warehouses where it's like literally booth after booth of people selling their inventory, and they're just streaming 24/7. That's all they're doing, selling their inventory. Is that something you ever looked into? Is that something that Amuze ever?
Yeah, well, I would love to do that. The issue that I have is because of the way that I sell. So I don't have my inventory up front.
Right.
So if I would do that, I'd have to drive an hour to this boutique, drive 2 hours to this boutique.
Get a whole bunch of inventory.
Yeah, so that's why I haven't done that.
The live stream.
But,
is it something you would consider, or something you would want to try out?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's a good tool. 100%. But yeah, honestly, I've kind of just been stuck in this thing that's been working. That it's working good enough to keep me good enough that it would be kind of like stupid to get away from it, to stop doing it, but still like limiting what I can do. So I've been in this thing. So I guess now this Trump thing with the tariffs is forcing me to get out of my comfort zone and to
adapt again.
Things. So the potential is a lot bigger what I have now, but just at the current moment, it's just nothing has come to fruition yet. Because it's all brand new. I'm a month and 2 weeks into this thing.
Right. So you got to see how this goes.
So yeah. No, but for sure, with my next projects, I want to try to do all the different social media platforms and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, so I just wanted to say, well, first of all, just from now that I heard the whole story and we're in Israel, a lot of entrepreneurs I interview are Israelis, and they have this chutzpah, they have this resilience, but maybe it's not necessarily an Israeli thing because you're an American, but American Italian, I guess you could say, but
American,
right?
American that lives in Italy.
American lives in Italy, but maybe it's a Jewish thing that you just have this resilience and that to get knocked down and to come back. I mean, kol hakavod, as they say in Israel, like all the respect to you to be able to do that. I hope that with this Trump thing and everything else, that you're able to find your grounding again and keep pushing because it's inspiring and it's awesome. Yeah, I had a note here. I don't know. It's what did Chaya say the night you almost quit? I don't know if was that like when you were getting, this must be like an excerpt from like an article or something. Was there like a story there that like there was a night that you were going to just totally give up and Chaya like gave you the confidence to continue? I don't even know. It's just in the notes. I'm not even sure what
that one. I don't know.
You're not sure about that.
But there were many nights where I wanted to
give it up.
100%. Yeah. It wasn't normal like at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like you're dealing with like too much stress.
Right.
Yeah. I think I eventually had like a mental breakdown from it, to be honest.
Really?
That's how I ended up in Italy. Cause like I'm like it was just too much stress, and at this I don't want to. I guess
we don't have to get into it. Okay,
that's a more complicated thing.
I guess.
It actually I want to say this though real quick. It ended up it was like a manic episode. I had a manic episode from all the stress.
Wow.
And but I remember like speaking to like a doctor about it like a couple years later, and they told me that it actually wasn't a manic episode because my life became better from it. I moved to Italy. I figured out how to do the business, and it gave me I had like this pull, just like, just directing me somewhere.
That's amazing.
And so like a manic episode would be if there's a negative effect,
a negative outcome
when it's done.
Right.
I actually had a very big positive outcome.
So that's what I was gonna say. I guess like tying back to like the whole resilience thing. Like what to give advice to someone that might be watching and they're facing hard times. A lot of people have their own companies. A lot of the people have their own startups or whatever it is, or maybe just a job that they're struggling with. What is some advice you could give somebody that to push through and to see to like you did, like all these times where like things are going so well only to fall down, it's like chutes and ladders in a way, right? You're like 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. What would you say to the fans out there watching Amuze and watching your success during those hard times?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're sure of something, then like if you're really sure of something, then just even if everyone's telling you it's not going to work, then keep going. It doesn't make a difference. Even if you're taking out cash advance loans and you're putting it's like, even if it seems too much, but if you are so sure of something, then keep going. If you're not so sure of something and everything's, then maybe stop. You know what I'm saying? I guess I can only say that advice because of my experience, because I was really so sure that I can make this work.
Right.
Even with all the different challenges. Like, I don't know why I was so sure of it, but it just made sense.
Passion is a lot of it. If you're
it's not necessarily, passion is part of it, but like, you can understand like with the business how like, if you do all these different moves, if you finally figure out how to like make everything work, it's going to work. Right. And, and then it'll work,
Gotcha.
I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I said passion, I didn't mean necessarily like a passion project. I mean like passion, like you have the passion to commit to it. It's something that you're passionate about, that you're going to make it, like whether, if you believe in it, you're going to make it to the end.
But it also has to like make sense. Like,
right.
If you want to be an NBA player and,
you're 3'5",
exactly.
It's not going to work.
You have to be realistic that,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, let's say if the whole situation was going on and like I didn't, like I'm keep going and trying to make this business work, but there really was no light at the end of the tunnel, I would be stupid,
Right.
But because like I really, in my unique situation, I had this whole handbag situation and I had, I got myself into this really bad situation, but like if it wasn't there, I felt like I would have like a really good business from this,
Gotcha.
And
amazing.
Yeah.
If you have any other clips, anything you want to talk about, this is the time. If you have anything you want to promote, something coming up, a release, announcement, giveaway, whatever it is, feel free.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
For sure. My pleasure.
We could have went on for a couple more hours, but no, this was great. It's,
cool.
Yeah.
If you guys like this episode and there was more stories you want to hear from Jonathan's journey, and which it's an active journey, it's continuing, it's still happening.
Yes. No, I would say also like right now you said like right now I'm speaking to myself. You said to tell someone like how you feel, like some advice for someone who's, let's say, going through challenges. Myself, like, listen, thank God I put money away And, so like if I spent all my money, I'd be in a bad situation right now. Thank God, like I put money away. But yeah, right now I'm figuring it. I have to, I'm back to the drawing board, as they say.
The drawing board. Yeah, exactly. All right.
So, but God willing, everything's gonna be even better.
I'm sure it will be. So if you guys have any questions for Jonathan, drop it in the comments. If you guys want to hear more about any of the conversations that we started, maybe we'll have you back here again the next time. I know you like to come to Israel a lot. Who knows? Maybe I'll be in Italy, or we can meet up in New York. But let us know, guys, what you think. And thank you again, Jonathan, for being here. It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks for having me.